Now, the Manchester United striker Mason Greenwood is to leave the club after what's being described as mutual agreement after an internal inquiry into his conduct. The player was arrested in January 2022 in connection with material which was published online, but charges including attempted rape and assault were dropped just over a year later. He's now admitted making mistakes but has insisted, "I did not do the things I was accused of." Manchester United said they had now decided it would be most appropriate for Greenwood to continue his career elsewhere. Well, joining me now is Carly Vandella, who's part of the campaign group Female Fans Against Greenwood's Return. Carly, thank you so much for joining us. Just in reaction to the Manchester United statement, you said on social media that they've done the right thing for the wrong reasons. What do you mean by that?
I think they finally come around to doing the right thing that was very obviously needed to be done from much earlier on in the process than has been done. I believe it's been done for the wrong reasons because up until around 4 or 5 days ago, the noises coming from the club, the statements that they'd released, the tone of the statements, the leaks that were coming from the club employees and that were in the media were very much pointing towards Manchester United reintegrating or attempting to reintegrate Greenwood into the squad. There has been a massive sway of public and fan opinion over the last few days that have shown that the public and Manchester United fans are overwhelmingly against the return of Mason Greenwood to the team, and it appears that the decision has been made in a reactive way to avert further reputational damage and a further PR disaster for Manchester United by people who are concerned about their position within the club rather than the interests of fans and survivors of abuse.
Well, the club did say in their statement that they were looking at a range of options when it came to him, including reinstatement. That's what they would say. Now, there are a group of fans who have been very vocal that say, in the eyes of the law, he's not done anything wrong, and they don't agree that he should have to go. And those people have been commenting on your social media platforms. What do you say to that?
There have been some narratives throughout this whole debacle around, sort of, he deserves a second chance, everyone makes mistakes. And, the abuse or the alleged actions that Mason Greenwood has undertaken isn't just one mistake. He was arrested a second time for breaking his bail conditions. There have been all sorts of other behavioural issues like lockdown parties that he was warned by the police over. He was sent home from the England camp and dropped for, shall we say, inadvisable behaviour that broke COVID restrictions. And it's been a pattern of arrogance and entitlement and exceptionalism by this particular player. So it's not just that he hasn't had a second chance. He had second chances after all of those things that I've just mentioned. But we've got to a point where, yes, people make mistakes, but not everyone does so while they're in a position of power and privilege like Mason Greenwood is. And if you want to play at the highest level in the game and you want to play at the biggest club in the world and receive the highest wages, you need to be held up to the highest levels of scrutiny and accountability and recognise that you have a huge responsibility to represent the club and all it stands for. And Greenwood failed consistently in that responsibility.
OK, Carly Vandella, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you.